Welcome back to the Celtics Nation Rise recap. I'm Griffin Aldridge. Alongside me is Andrew Quinn, and your Boston Celtics have defeated the Los Angeles Lakers with a final score of 87-78. First of all, I gotta say, last win of the Summer League. It's I tell you, Andrew, Summer League is so short. It comes and it goes.
I know. It flew by. It's
I
crazy.
know it wasn't even like, and no Charles Bassey. I'll start it off really quick with
Yeah,
Charles
go
Bassey.
first. Yeah.
He apparently only was able to play 3 games with the Celtics, so we need to lock him up for training camp and get him on the Celtics. But Andrew, what are your initial thoughts after this win by the Boston Celtics?
Well, yeah, honestly, speaking of Charles Bassey, just seeing him not on the floor tonight was tough because the Celtics, it seems that they didn't have that rim protection tonight, that Bassey provides and just that interior defense. And you notice that with, you know, Bronny James kind of getting to the hole a little more often than normal. And just seeing guys get to the rack a little easier uh, than they should have. And it just kind of goes to show that the Celtics, not only now in the Summer League, have some rim protection problems, but even in the future, when the season comes, it's like, who are we really gonna have that's gonna protect the rim? Like I like Williams as a player. I think offensively he's really talented, but doesn't have as much of that defensive presence. There's, I mean, just all these guys, like we just don't really have that defensive presence. I guess Kada could be our guy, um, but it's like, can his offense keep him on the floor long enough to really help be that defensive anchor? I don't know. So that's something I noticed and something I'd like to see the Celtics improve upon, or just like we said, get Bassey on the roster.
That's what I was gonna say, because obviously you keep it going, Andrew, in a second, but I feel like the answer is right in front of the Celtics' eyes. It's signing Charles Bassey. Again, he's young. He's a guy who backed up Wemby, and this is a guy who I'm not sure what his ceiling is, but he's pretty darn good. So they need to
Good,
get him on the roster.
especially a guy that like probably minimum. I mean, not a crazy amount of money spent on him, right? Like, so it's kind of like a win-win scenario. Like, see what happens. If it doesn't happen, you know, we'll move on from him. But it's also one of those things where we do right now have a kind of up in the air season next year where we can kind of experiment. We can kind of throw guys into the rotation, see how they perform, and just kind of utilize them and see where they fit. So it's one of those things where the Celtics can kind of experiment with Bassey, see if they fit the Celtics mold, see if he fits in the Celtics team, and then just kind of, you know, move on from there. So I like him, and he's someone where I say you take a shot on. From
Totally.
from other perspectives, thought Walsh had a good game. He was aggressive, attacking the basket. What I noticed off honestly is just defensively, having Gonzalez and Walsh on the perimeter, just really lengthy, able to defend multiple positions. Like those are guys. Obviously, we've had Walsh, but he hasn't developed or and had that opportunity for a role in the rotation. But those guys, their length and their ability to just like disrupt shots, defend at a high level, and just create kind of chaos on ball, off ball, I really like that. And so defensively, from a perimeter standpoint and just like a guard forward standpoint, the Celtics are set. I mean, they are okay. It's really the center position. And then just one more thing, I thought that Walsh attacked the hoop a lot, but it seems a lot of times like once he would attack the hoop, he'd be a little less. His ability to finish around the hoop through contact was a little iffy. I don't know. He just seemed like he played with the ball a little too much. It wasn't as like fluid when he gets to that paint. He was drawing fouls, granted, but you know it's something he can work on for sure. Uh, but other than that, I mean, they played well, right? So I mean, it's summer league. But in the same way, people say it's summer league a lot of times, but there's coaches on the sideline that are like fighting for roles, fighting for opportunities somewhere else down the line. So these are big moments for any coach, no matter what, and especially players fighting for roles. So still a good game to watch. And Bronny played well. I give his flowers. So Griffin, what do you think though?
No, you got to give it to Bronny. I ultimately think, obviously, summer league games, you're going to see a lot more defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. But it's not going to be that same star power that you're obviously going to see in the regular NBA season. However, I wasn't mad about the game. I feel like it was definitely an interesting one for the Celtics. There wasn't really a pick me score. It was kind of everyone having a jab at it tonight. The one person that I wasn't very impressed with, though, was Baylor Shireman.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's a guy who obviously Seamus has said constantly on post game show too, is Shireman and Walsh should be sticking out like sore thumbs, and they should be doing what Bassey did because they're NBA ready. But Baylor Shireman has had a really bad summer league, and
Mm-hmm.
today especially was not his best day as well. So I wasn't very impressed with that. However, from a team aspect, I was very, very impressed with it. I feel like, we had a good game. We had a really good game,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Bronny and the Lakers are going to pull up a fight for sure. But you also mentioned a guy, obviously, earlier too in the group chat about Darius Baisley. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Baisley. Yeah, I am big on Baisley,
he's a
and
great player,
what do
and
you think? What do you think it was from what you
I
saw that injury?
from
I think
that, I mean, we have had numerous amounts of um, evidence or video of these Achilles tears, and for me, you could just kind of see that Achilles snap off again. That's what I think. I could be wrong,
yeah, I think so too.
but
Though,
I think it was
especially
definitely
him.
Achilles, and it's painful to see that because it's a guy that was
He's
actually playing
young.
well, is young, and he's trying to make himself a name. He was already kind of in the league, but he's trying to make himself a name and really solidify a spot for himself on a team. And to go down on an injury like that, freak incident. I mean, the way his leg moved, it was disturbing for sure, but it was also like weird. It just, it wasn't your typical Achilles tear, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if it was a tear. That's kind of what I see.
Oh,
But
totally.
while
And
we were talking,
yeah,
and I'm stealing this more so from Wendy, but when Windhorst, I love him. He's a great reporter, and he just recently, or just on a podcast I was listening to, he's like, when you come into the summer league, if you're a second year guy, and I'm sure this has been touched upon, you need to have the standout performances. Like you need to show that you have leaps and bounds amongst the players, especially playing in the NBA for a year. Just a year, that experience should mold you, should build you into a player that can at least dominate or at least really stand out amongst the crowd against these like college players, basically. College players that are coming into the league that are still trying to grow their wings and really figure out. I mean, some NBA players too, you know what I mean? Obviously, guys that have been in the league, but yeah, Shireman 2 for 14, man. Uh, not what you want to see, man, from him. Not at all.
no.
Not efficient. 6 assists. I do love his ability to play make. I really do. But it's just frustrating to see, and it's one of those guys that not unfortunately, but it's one of those guys we're banking on right now to kind of show us
Totally.
what's up.
No, totally. You're completely right with that. And but obviously to tack on to the Baisley thing, and then we'll get into the quarters. But like you already mentioned it, it looks like Achilles tear,
Mm-hmm.
and he left on a wheelchair too, so
Right.
that's not a good sign. But Andrew, if you wanted to get into the quarters for us on this
Yeah.
win from the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So first quarter, LA took it, leading 26-21. And the Boston, our Celtics really responded, uh, scoring 19 in that quarter, outscoring them, the Lakers by 9, or by 10, my bad, in the second. Uh, and then the Celtics maintained the lead, leading by 5 in the third, 25-20. That's what the scoring difference, or not the scoring difference, the score. And then in the fourth, it was a lot more even, 22-23. But granted, you have the Celtics guys on the bench. You don't have your starters in, so you're just letting guys kind of get in rotation, just kind of fill it out. The final box score, the total score ended 87-78. So Lakers tried to make a little comeback towards the end, led by Bronny and Koloko. Defensively, he was playing well. That dude, not bad, but got in got attacked towards the end too. A little hothead. He was complaining a little too much
Him
from.
and Lofton too. Him and Koloko were really going at it.
And how I see it too, it's like when you're a summer league player, and I know Joe liked it. I know Joe liked Walsh getting that tech. He was like, "I'm a fan. I love the way you were like showing your passion, showing your energy." But from my perspective, or just from a outsider's perspective, it's like you just got to put your head down, and you can't complain at all. You can't look at the refs. You can't complain at all, because in these moments, you're trying to stand out to a coach and say, "That's the guy I want to have on my team. That's the guy that I want to get minutes." And so, for Koloko to kind of like keep complaining, throwing his hands around, complaining, at calls that are up in the air, it's like,
Yeah.
it could go this way, could go that way, but control what you can control. And the coach is definitely, looking out for that. So, just an interesting thought to think about.
Oh, totally. But ultimately, you said it. Celtics getting the dub, but Koloko was a guy for obviously the Lakers tonight. In 25 minutes, had 12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 6 blocks, and shot 75%.
$6, man. That's
That's
good. And I mean, I said it in the group chat too. Hugo Gonzalez looked a little more raw tonight. Looked a little less
yeah.
efficient. He took it. He got blocked towards the end of the game. Tried to do like a little Euro step into the lane, and Koloko came out of nowhere, swatted into the crowds. And then the next possession, what's his name? Gonzalez went into Koloko and tried to take a layup, but he contorted himself, tried to go underneath the hoop because he knew Koloko was there, and he had a little in the back of his mind, "Oh man, I'm gonna get blocked again." So, and that just goes to show though how important it is to have rim protectors like a Cornet that unfortunately lost, kind of like a Horford like we lost, like those guys that disrupt shots and just make your life a little harder and make you second guess when you're in the lane. Those really pay dividends down the line. I also want to mention Kenneth Lofton. I thought he played really well from an offensive standpoint. Like his decision making, his fluidity on the offensive end, his ability to just, dice someone up, his footwork, everything, man. He is a talented player. And someone said on the broadcast, like, he's an NBA player. I think he's an NBA player. I really do. And I think you got to find a way to implement him. And the only thing that, scares me with him is just defensively, can he guard pick and rolls? Can he kind of fight through mismatches? Because we know in the NBA, guys love just picking mismatches, using screens, getting switches, and just attacking guys that maybe don't have that much, aren't as keen on the defensive end. But I think Lofton is a talented player. And honestly, one of those guys that why not have him on the roster, potentially, or even a G League guy, like a staff, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we have the opportunity as of right now to kind of, like we said, be a little more, be a little more risky, be a little more development, be kind of like what kind of works and what doesn't, and just see who works with Joe and who doesn't work with Joe. Like, does Joe like this guy? Like, so, yeah, I mean, I like Lofton. I really like Lofton.
You said it right there, and that's going to be a guy that will obviously go after on the Celtics side. But DJ Stewart, that's my guy. I saw him all the time at Maine.
Yes, sir.
27 minutes, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and shot 54.5. And obviously, you said it, Andrew. Bronny in 28 minutes had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1
steal. Oh my gosh.
53.8% from the field goal.
But he had 8 turnovers.
8 turnovers, though. Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Jeez. And I want to throw out another name, and then we'll go into the Celtics side. But Dalton Connect in 31 minutes had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and shot 25. So I feel like we don't have to worry about Baylor because Dalton Connect is a guy who I feel like is NBA ready, and he had a crappy performance. So,
but that's the thing, like Connect, like the Lakers also traded Connect away during the season, and he came back. So it's like,
he might
did
not
the
even
Lakers
be
see
there.
something in his development? Did they see something in his, ability to play, like, ability to work with teammates? Did he, like, what did they see that they're like, man, I don't know about this guy, So I don't know. I mean, I think Connect is good, but he can't. He's been struggling from the field. Uh, I also think defensively a little slower. So I don't know, man. I mean, I was high on Connect. I like how he plays.
No,
Uh,
yeah.
but he's one of those guys that's like, why aren't you taking over? You have the tools. It's step up. So
No, completely right with that. Completely right with that. But for the Celtics side, a guy who I've been very high on, he had limited minutes tonight, so I'm not mad about it. But Kendall Brown in 13 minutes had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and shot 100%. Isaiah Wong, another guy I
yeah,
like,
he's good.
have been high on in 9 minutes, 8 points, 1 rebound, and shot 100%. So
Yeah, very
he had a
efficient.
good game. Yeah, very. What was that? Sorry, Andrew.
No, I said very efficient.
And then Jalen Bridges. Oh, sorry. I think I lost you for a second. If you
No,
don't mind
you're
saying
okay.
that again.
Yeah. No, I just said very efficient from Isaiah Wong. But also Miles Norris, man. I didn't mind him. I like his intensity on the court. Like I like the way he moves. He can block shots. He's another one of those guys that's lengthy.
Oh,
Um,
totally.
so like I don't know. I like him. He's got a good shot. So, but he didn't shoot well tonight, though. Unfortunately, 1 for 6, 5 from the 3-point line. Like that's what you want from him. So, but I mean, there's a lot. There's honestly though a lot on this roster to be like to have hopes about, to invest in, to say maybe this guy could do well for us. So there's a lot to look. There's a lot of upside in this roster right now.
Oh, totally. And like another guy, Jalen Bridges, didn't have a great game tonight, but in 8 minutes, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Shulga, obviously one of our draft picks,
Yeah,
23 minutes, obviously had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and shot 16.7%. So not a good night from him. But another guy you already mentioned, Amari Williams, in 20 minutes had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and shot 1 steal and shot 30%.
mm-hmm.
So I like Amari. And then again, you talked about him, Miles Norris. I loved his play though tonight. Obviously a little rocky, and he missed some open threes that he should be hitting. But in
Yeah,
21 minutes, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and shot 45.5% from the field goal.
yeah,
So, but I liked him. What about you? You said you were high on him though tonight.
yeah. No, I like him. I think he's like I said, he's got that NBA build. He's got the tools to shoot it from beyond the arc. He's lengthy. He can stay with guys. So like he's a guy that can be beneficial for the Celtics or just any NBA team. I personally think. But I will say one more thing. I do think the team looks good for potential some main Celtics guys.
Oh, that's what I've been saying.
I'm thinking in the back of my mind we could have some fun with the main Celtics because there's a lot of guys on here that I'm like,
I hope
it would be fun to
this
see.
is the squad. I
I
hope
hope
this is the
I hope
squad.
I hope there's some form. Hope some of these guys are in that team because that'll be fun.
Well, I'm
Like a Kenneth Lofton if they
like,
sign to a 2-way,
yes,
or like an
Isaiah
Isaiah
Wong,
Wong.
Kendall Brown,
Max Shulga would be nice to see. I
Jalen
know I'm
Williams.
not as high on Max Shulga, and we're probably talking about Celtics top weekly.
I don't like him either. I'm
I
not.
think he moves a little. He kind of seems slow first step, not as confident with the ball, kind of not as efficient. Like I'm not as high on him. Still be a dope guy to see at main Celtics and potentially rise, but I don't know. He's something off about something off.
No, I agree. But only a couple more players on the list. Ugo Gonzalez in 29 minutes had 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and shot 36.4%. We obviously talked about Baylor Shireman. Not efficient night in 29 minutes, had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and shot 14.3%. Kenny Lofton, a guy who I thought had a very efficient night, and Daniel's been very high on him. In 20 minutes, had 12 points, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, and shot 62.5% from the field goal. Wow. And lastly, Jordan Walsh in 28 minutes had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and shot 54.5% from field goal. So ultimately, and I love your take, Andrew, there's a lot of guys on this list that are NBA ready, like two-way ready, and a lot of guys that I would love to see on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I agree. No, I know. I think it's just, and like we said, we have that season where we can kind of mix and match. We can kind of mess around a little and just see kind of who fits in with our system. And yeah, I mean, maybe they'll make a run in the summer league. So we'll see.
I love it. I love it. Well, again, the Boston Celtics beat the Lakers with a final score of 87-78. And that's going to do it for tonight. Obviously, we will see you guys soon. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to be notified every time we upload. Again, we will see you guys with the next one. Peace, guys.
Peace.